Look, these small glitches do...
Small glitches?
Have you ever spent a night in jail? I thought you said this bail hearing was a formality.
I apologize. I was overconfident. But in my own defense, you must know that it is very rare for bail to be denied in cases based on circumstantial evidence. I can only say, Mrs. Spencer, you must have had a very, very colorful past.
Which justice would have known about.
Yeah, where the hell is he? He should have been here.
Of course, I don't know all the facts yet, but from what I am beginning to gather about your past, even he couldn't secure bail the way things are standing now.
You know, so far you've done a really good job of telling us what can't be done. Is there anything you can do to get my wife out?
There is. I plan to get this whole thing dropped before it even gets to a grand jury.
And what are the odds of that, just so we don't get our hopes up?
I think I better lay off making any predictions until I have a chance to do my homework. I will get back to you both as soon as I possibly can.
Well, we would appreciate that. One more minute, please. This is just a temporary setback. Can I bring you anything?
Bring me a little cassette recorder so I can make a tape for Lulu.
Sure. And listen, I'm going to do my own homework. I'll find out if this Chambers guy is as good as his press clippings.
I wish Justice were here.
Well, he may be. If this Chambers character doesn't come up with something fast. But listen, I'm not leaving this up to any lawyers, even Justice. You didn't do it. We know that. That means there's a murderer out there, and I will find
Thank you. Hey, I'm disappointed, Counselor. I thought we were going to be in there crossing swords. What happened?
Well, I decided to step aside, give you a level playing field.
Ask Chambers if it was a level playing field. I got the judge to deny bail.
Well, you know, he hasn't hit his stride yet.
These high-priced hired guns don't worry me. I know how they operate. He's probably thinking about his next 3 cases down the line.
Well, it doesn't seem to bother any of his clients. He gets most of them off. He's got 10 times more courtroom experience than you and I put together.
I can take him.
You won the first round, Dara. Talk to me after the next session.
I wouldn't be as sure of myself if it was you instead of him. Off the record, you didn't do Mrs. Spencer any favors by stepping aside. But you sure did one for me.
Okay, Lucky's supposed to go to the dentist this week. Lulu's supposed to get a booster shot, I think. Oh, did I give you the tape?
Yes, baby, I got the tape right here.
Good.
She's gonna love hearing your voice. Listen, don't worry about anything. Your son and I are gonna take such good care of things. When you get home, everything will be so smooth, you're gonna be very proud of us.
Yeah.
You're gonna be okay.
I guess if I ever need a break from the family, you can always remind me of this. Luke, what if being innocent isn't enough? You know, what if they bring up all that questionable stuff about my past and they use it to convince a jury that I actually murdered Damien?
Sweetheart, this is not even going to go to jury. All they need is reasonable doubt. How can anyone look in your face and not have reasonable doubt?
Still, if they bring up all that stuff, you know, about my past, it wouldn't be the first time that an innocent person was convicted of a murder. I mean, my God, what if the truth isn't enough?
Then we lie. Cheat, steal, bribe, anything. Whatever it takes. We went to court. We saw how the system works. So we'll make our own rules. Just like the old days. And you know that I don't give a damn who I take down to do it.
When I put the bowl of oatmeal down in front of her, she screwed up her little face like I just served her stewed pickles or something. And then she delivered what I think is her first full sentence.
What did she say?
She said, "No bumpy cereal, Pop."
You're kidding? She said all of that.
Yeah, well, she was inspired. She's a woman of strong convictions, just like her mother.
I missed it. How much am I going to miss?
Not much. Not much more, I guarantee. I've been doing my homework. I've been doing my legwork. And the investigation I'm doing into Chambers should give us some information today. I've got some tricks up my sleeve. I'm going to be popping you out of here anytime now.
I'm sure you will. But don't worry about me, okay? Because no matter what happens in court today, I can cope.
I've just heard word from the grand jury. They're ready to hand up an indictment against Laura Spencer.
Baby, I have no doubt that you can handle anything they throw your way. But only one of two things is going to happen. Either the DA will realize he doesn't have enough evidence to indict and you'll come home, or I'll initiate Plan B.
Which is what?
Well, I can't really say because the cinder blocks have ears. But rest assured, it involves dynamite, a strong rope, and a jelly donut with a big file in it. Trust me, baby, you ain't gonna spend another night in here. They haven't got a case, right?
I'm sorry to have to tell you that the DA is going to the grand jury. They're going to ask them to hand up an indictment for manslaughter on the first degree.
What are you gonna do about that?
Well, obviously, they wouldn't be going to trial if they didn't think they had enough evidence to convict.
How can they have evidence when I didn't do it?
Now, certainly, I would argue justifiable homicide. If Damien Smith is setting fire to your house, and you've got children upstairs, of course you have the right to protect them.
Which she would have done if that were the case.
The problem is, the justification clause does not guarantee exoneration. The jury could still find you guilty.
Not if she has competent defense.
I've got a great deal of experience in the courtroom, Mr. Spencer. And that experience tells me the safest route is to bargain with the DA down to a lesser charge. My advice to you, plead guilty to assault in the first degree.
I'm not going to plead guilty to anything. I didn't do it.
Thank you. That was Veronica Bowles.
Around Port Charles?
We could have more evidence against Laura Spencer.
Still don't understand, Mrs. Spencer, is that your guilt or innocence is moot at this point.
Excuse me?
Yeah, say more about that if you would, counselor.
Of course, you're innocent. Under the law, you're innocent until proven guilty. What is relevant, though, is not whether, in fact, you did it or didn't.
It's whether the prosecution can prove that to the jury.
Oh, that is deep.
With all due respect, our prisons are full of people proclaiming their innocence. If the DA is successful in proving manslaughter, you're going to be looking at 6 to 25 years in prison.
And the alternative, if she takes the stand and perjures herself saying she killed this spud in some kind of psychotic peak,
You need never go to the witness stand. If you plead guilty to assault in the first degree, there's a good chance you'd only be looking at 18 months' time served before you're eligible for parole. You'd be present as a mother to watch your children grow up. Mrs. Spencer, I'm asking you to consider the quality of your life and that of your family against a principle that could separate you from them for a long, long time.
This is unbelievable.
oh, honey, maybe it's not so bad. He's only talking 18 months here, you know? I mean, we got enough frozen casseroles in the freezer probably to hold the kids that long, and you'd only miss one set of the kids' birthdays. And when you got out, we could have a big party, and Lucky could have one of those banners made on his computer that says, "Welcome home, mother, convicted murderer." Who the hell do you think you are?
I'm an experienced, well-respected, highly paid criminal attorney with a record of very few convictions. But of course, you know all that, you did a background check.
I sure as hell did, and you're right. It's exceptional, your record of plea bargaining. But then why not, huh? It saves all that arguing time in court. And it keeps your win ratio up. You take your $1 million and you go off to your next plea bargain. I don't know what rock Edward Quartermain found you under. But we ain't copping no pleas, pal. This time you're earning your keep. You're gonna stick around and you're gonna fight!
Garcia. Yeah, great. Send her in. Miss Bowles, thank you for coming down. This is Dara Jensen, the assistant DA on the case.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Let's have it.
This was shot the day I interviewed Damian Smith for the last time. I'm not very happy about this, Detective.
I'm sorry to compromise your journalistic integrity.
What has Lucky got to do with all of this?
Why don't you begin by asking him how he got the bruises on his face?
It was a skateboard accident.
Oh, right, yes, a skateboard with fists. Those hoods at the dock worked him over pretty good. But that's what happens when you play poker with the big boys. As a matter of fact, you both should be thanking me, because if I hadn't come along when I did, he'd be in the hospital right now, or even worse. Now this is even better than I thought. You both are so out of touch. You had no idea this was going on.
Get out of my place right now.
And you know what? If you were half the mother that you pretend to be, I would think I would at least know what my child was up to.
Easy, gumdrop, easy. For the pleasure of bashing in his head. Remember, Lulu's gonna have to visit you in the slammer until junior prom time. Don't go off on me now. Think about it. Okay? Let go. Let go of the bat, baby. That's right. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
You're right, thank you.
Okay.
Not gonna let you get to me. Oh, the hell with it!
Nice, honey. That was nice. We had enough.
You were there when this incident occurred?
That's right.
Miss Bowles, did Laura Spencer say anything about Ward House that evening? I remember she mentioned a plan to take the Ward House kids out of town the next day, to Rochester, I think. I can't recall anything else, but I will certainly be in touch if I do.
Thank you, Miss Bowles. You've been extremely helpful. Thanks for coming down.
You're welcome. Probably the same thing you're thinking. If Laura Spencer arranged for Ward House to be empty the night Damian Smith was killed, and if she had already threatened him with bodily harm, then we have a strong argument for premeditation.
We also have cell phone records indicating she made a call to Damien the day of the murder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could say she tried to lure him down here for the purpose of killing him.
Then how do you account for the fire we know he set?
For the sake of argument, suppose he had an idea of what she had in mind and got there a little earlier. He could have set the fire as a means of getting to her before she got to him.
Stranger things have happened. Well, I have to get back to the grand jury with this new information. I have a feeling Laura Spencer's gonna be up for more than just manslaughter.
Right, we're in luck. Your wife's case is first up after recess.
I hope you're not depending on luck.
Yes, you made your feelings clear, Mr. Spencer. Now, you're just gonna have to trust my competence.
God help you, Chambers, if you muck this up. Justice, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Simone, hi.
Luke, I am so sorry for what you both are going through.
How's Laura?
She's mad as hell, and so am I. This so-called brilliant mouthpiece that Edward got for us wants her to plead guilty to a lesser charge.
What? That's outrageous. She shouldn't have to plead guilty to anything.
You mean just because she's innocent? It sounds like you're as stupid as we are.
You didn't...
Of course not. Of course not. I think I've got his head screwed on straight now. But, Justice, if Edward's man can't prove my wife innocent, then I'll prove it myself. I never should have let Edward butt in on this in the first place.
Justice, may I speak to you privately for a moment?
Excuse me.
What the devil are you doing coming here?
Supporting my friends the best I can.
And screwing yourself in the bargain. I told you to keep your distance.
And it would look a darn sight more suspicious if I did. In fact, if you really want to avert suspicion, I should be in there defending Laura, because that ace counsel of yours looks to me like a self-serving jackass.
My boy, if you want to survive long enough to hold on to those precious friendships of yours and your good name and that of your family, you'd better let go of the egotistical notion that only you can defend Laura Spencer.
Luke, Justice is in no shape to defend Laura, and he knows it.
Justice with just a fraction of his brain engaged, it would be better than this bozo.
He's putting on a good front, but he is in a lot of pain.
I know, Justice. He's gonna feel a whole lot worse for letting a friend down.
It's a very generous thing, Edward, to provide Laura's counsel.
Excuse me. I think the circus is about to start.
I'm glad you're here, Simone. I'm sure your support will be most welcome.
If you're here to deal, counselor, forget it. All bets are off.